Thank you for having me tonight, and God bless.
So we need to start looking forward, and we need to stop looking behind. We need to build on the momentum generated by going to grade centers and start looking forward so we can begin to see the future ahead of us. I hope that you'll give me that chance to help our grade centers, to help our community, because I'd really like my record to be 1-1 instead of 0-2. Thank you.
Okay, to wrap up once again, it's about community, communication. It's about saving our schools. That's what it comes down to. For those that know me, at the beginning of the year, when everything started with the first referendum attempt, I was hands down 100% against grade centers. Hands down. Seeing what was going on with the school, attending the meetings, talking to board members, started to open my eyes and to do a little more research. Like I said, talking to surrounding communities, teachers that have gone through this, because I thought it was a hugely negative thing. And as I got into it and did my research, I found out that this could be a really positive thing for our community, considering what we already have ahead of them for high school. So in closing, looking for the future. And I just have to say it, you have to write in Tim Ludston for the kids, the community, the future of District 80. Thank you.
That was quick. Okay, I'm going to keep this really brief, short and sweet. In closing, I believe in a quality public education strengthens our communities. Our children are our future. I want to help Norwich School District 80 make sound financial decisions for our district, as well as prepare our students to be successful in the grade center concept, but even off to the high school and off to college. Believe me, those years go by fast. I have a freshman in college, and I didn't think I'd be there, but the years go by, and we have to take those kids into our minds and guide them to make sure that they have a challenging curriculum and implementing any new technologies that are out there to enhance the learning for the students. If reelected, I will continue to focus on these issues, and I will not take the children out of my eyesight. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, candidates. We are now going to open the floor up to questions, and I just want to remind everyone to please be respectful to the candidates. The first question is Jan Wilson.
Right here.
If you please come up.
Hi, candidates.
Hello.
Hello, parents and citizens of Norwich. So my question, I guess I'm going to pose to all of you, I think the K-8 model has been a culture in many, many school districts for a long, long time. And it's difficult to make any kind of transition from that model. It's difficult for all of us as parents. But in particular, these people are not going to be sitting in the chairs in those classrooms, in that setting. And so you're going to be dealing with the children and explaining to them and convincing them is going to be critical in the success of these grade centers. And so from a district that has a history, a rich history of a K-12 model, here they are. They're sitting in a classroom and they need to have this explained to them. How does this benefit me as a student to go to these grade centers? What's in it for me is my question as a kid. And how's it going to make me a better student and better prepared? From a curriculum standpoint, from an extracurricular standpoint, how is it going to prepare me to move on to Ridgewood, the great school we have?
I'll take that first.
Okay.
So
I just want to say one other thing. I taught for 35 years in a K to 5, a 6 through 8, and a 9 through 12 model. And I completely support the grade centers. I am 100% for it. As difficult as the transition is going to be, the benefits, aside from curricular, extracurricular, but just from personal development of students and maturation, is incredible. But we've got to convince our kids of that also. So I'm going to leave that with you.
Jan, thank you very much for that plug on the Great Centers. You took my thunder. I mean, but I think it all stems at the home, and I think we as parents need to sit down and have that discussion with our children. I think you'll be surprised if you talk to some of the students. These kids are ready. I have a child who's in the junior high, and he's ready to go to high school, and he's only in 7th grade, and he's ready to go to high school today if we let him. We have gotten so complacent and stagnant in our junior high level that we need to make it a more vigorous and challenging curriculum to better prepare these kids for high school. And if you keep them motivated and you keep them focused, the children will succeed. So I believe that the discussion needs to come from the home, and the parents need to address those concerns and issues with their specific children. Thank you.
So I agree with Pasquale. Yeah. But I think using the word, I think you said convince, right? How I can convince them is then putting in the frame of that they're already skeptical of the grade centers. I approach it as there's no skepticism, but there's welcome. Change is okay because it's a good thing. I think overarching, change is scary. Of course it is. But there's always two sides. Change is opportunity, right? So showing that side, anytime you show opportunity to play with, or excuse me, go to school with kids who you play with at the park, right? To learn and play school sports with then the kids that you play park sports with, right? To get over that, I'm not saying that there's nothing to be concerned about, for sure. There's things to be taken into consideration. But I think if you show the opportunities, if you show the value in that by going to grade centers, there's the money there to do art, to do sports, to do the things that we couldn't do as K through 8. I think when you present it in a way that shows all the opportunities, I think kids will get that. I think you're going to see a smile on their face. And I think that that's going to carry on to hopefully then that's going to put a smile on your face, because then you're going to feel good about this decision. And as well as, I think, as a community, welcoming the kids, right? Putting on, making sure that, and doing everything that we can to present it in a way that this is a welcome change, and it's a change that we all need, you know. So yeah, I think I look at the other side. I'm always not necessarily half empty, but half full, you know. This is an opportunity that I think we need to glom onto and build on, really. So thanks for the question. It's really good.
Okay, so the children, how are they going to respond? I've personally already dealt with this in my house. My 2nd grader knows that I've been attending meetings. She knows that I'm running for the school board. She's the last of 15 family members that will not graduate as a Lee School Tiger. How do we overcome that? Plain and simple. Different ways for different age groups. It has to come from the home, but it has to work from the teachers. It has to work from the faculty as well. And that's what we need to make sure, that our teachers finish out this year with positive aspects for the kids. that they're reinforcing it. And coming from the home, I had the easiest way with my second grader. She's a great, personable kid. I said, look at it this way. Starting next year, you're going into third grade. You're going to have twice as many friends. You're not stuck to this side of Norwich anymore. You're going to meet the other side. You're going to interact with them. When you join sports at the park, you're going to know these people now. You're not going to wait until high school. So it's putting a lot of fun and exciting things in front of you. And then I got into the school part. Luckily, my second grader loves school. The second part of that I said is, you're not old enough to understand yet, but you will someday. That by doing this, it's going to give the district an opportunity to create new programs, to bring in new parts of the curriculum, to have stuff that these schools never had before because we were trying to budget it between two separate K-8 schools. Now we're going to have stuff that's more specialized for those 5 through 8. We're going to have stuff that's more specialized for the K through 4. And I think that's the importance of it, stressing it to the kids, but the school employees have to be on board with it as well. So as you talk to them, email them, have questions, it has to be everybody together. And as was mentioned before, I believe Pasquale said it, if kids hear something, they're going to repeat it. I've heard that already as well, and I've already run into somebody in the store. And I said, hey, you're going to be going to school with my daughter next year. And this girl was upset. I said, why is that upset? Why does that upset you? And the reply was, my mommy graduated from Giles. I said, so why are you upset? You're going to graduate from Giles. She goes, well, maybe it's not fair to the Lee people. This was a little girl. It's amazing what they hear. This is somebody that's getting to graduate from Giles the same as her mom, but she was upset because she didn't know how it was going to make other people feel. So again, it's the stuff they hear on the street. It's the stuff they hear at home. It's the stuff they hear at school. I'm firmly convinced that with an entire community effort, that we can make this transition happen fast and effectively for everyone involved. Thank you.
I believe that this will be a good thing, mainly obviously cost saving, but the other thing is we look at ourselves as Norwich as one community. So by combining the schools together, I feel like that will bring us closer together and give the kids a better sense of one community, one town, one Norwich. That's what I believe. Thank you.
Frank is up next.
This is going to be a lengthy question. Park testing is what most Illinois schools use to measure their performance. In the last year, our park score, District 80's park score, went from 38% to 50%, which is an achievement for our district. It's not commonly talked about, but it is, and it should be acknowledged as an achievement. Just as comparison, because obviously a score is usually going to be compared to other districts. Park Ridge 64 scored 58, Niles 71 scored 49, Schaumburg 54, District 54, scored 60%, and Union Ridge, I forgot the district number, is scored 53%. Considering quality teachers, one example, Common Core Math, current technology, because the tests are taken on laptops or Chromebooks, and are changing the grade centers. This is an open question to all candidates. What do you suggest we do or continue to do to keep increasing our park scores and in conjunction with that improve curriculum?
Okay. No. Ladies first.
Oh, right. So, great question, Frank. Thank you. I've mentioned before about analytics, data. I've noticed over the last year, the school, the teachers, have done a tremendous job with trying to think of the chart.
Ames Web.
Yes.
What's it called?
Ames Web.
Ames Web testing.
Right?
Yes.
Because I noticed a difference between last year's scores and the amount of information I got last year to the amount of information I got this year.